How's it going, everybody? We have a super fun strike spot video for you today. I assume it's super fun. I've not seen it yet. It just came out. This one's going to be about Brimstone. That's going to be the new Mystic team. I believe they're all Mystic anyway. That does have the Heartless Strange and the Elsa that we did see as part of the global rewards in the Blaster Invasion event. But I'm talking too much already. Let's go ahead and let's let Pathfinder and whoever he's got on the show today carry it away.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to another episode of Strike Spot. Byron from the combat team joins us again as we talk about the next team to terrorize Alliance helicarriers in Brimstone. Make sure you stick around till the end of the video where we reveal the next promo code that you can redeem on marvelstrikeforce.com. Joining us now is Byron. Well, welcome back to another episode of Strike Spot, Byron. How have you been since we've last seen each other?
I'm doing really good, but extremely busy.
Yeah, there has been a lot going on in this game, and we have a big topic to talk about today, and that is the next big war team in Brimstone. So, Byron, why don't you give us an idea of who the characters for Brimstone are?
I kind of had a feeling it was going to be war because what were the last two teams were raids? Then we had Fantastic Four was Arena, and then was it a Cursed Crucible? So it makes sense to be a war team. It makes a lot of sense to be a war team. Or maybe a Battle World team if Battle World 2 was around the corner. They wanted to do the same thing with Astral. Yeah. People were thinking it was going to be a Mystic Raid team. I'm really happy it's not a Mystic Raid team. Liberty was the last war team. Yeah. So it's been a while for war then. Good. So this makes a lot of sense. I'm happy it's war. I want to see if war offense or defense though, because there is a prevailing feeling right now that there is no defense at all in war and everything's offense based, which really I like for me and my alliance, but we're going to see if Brimstone's going to flip that on its head, I guess.
Sure. So Brimstone includes 3 new characters alongside 2 new reworks. Leading Brimstone is Daimon Hellstrom, helped by Hellcat. And then rounding off our new characters is Living Mummy.
Okay, let's go back there just to look at this. This is way different than people thought. People thought Midnight Suns. People were thinking it was going to be a Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, that sort of thing. Instead, we're getting Daimon Hellstorm, Hellcat. I do not know who Hellcat is. Living Mummy, of course. The Mummy. Daimon Hellstorm. God, who is he the son of? Is he the son of Mephisto? Brother of Satana? He's a big deal. Daimon Hellstorm's a big deal. That's a lot of strikers. That is a lot of strikers. Ooh, maybe that'll give us insight on what's going to happen here. This, I think, is pretty cool. Here's what I will say. Elsa is such a gratifying character when you use her ultimate. And you get, like, offense up, and it takes away death proofs and just this crazy amount of damage. And then Strange Heartless is one of the scariest characters ever because you know that if he reaches his ultimate, you're gone. So I really actually think both of these reworks bring super, super cool things to the team. And whatever the next character, like, it's going to be pretty cool. We'll let it talk. Maybe they're going to give us some good ideas.
Our new characters is Living Mummy. And for our reworks, we have Strange Heartless and then Elsa Bloodstone as our reworks.
Okay, so very much leaning into kind of the spooky Halloween type vibes with this team. Excited for these new characters. We'll hear about them here in a second, but let's start with the reworks. Why don't we start with Elsa? Elsa being one of the oldest characters on this team. How is she getting reworked?
So she's receiving a big stat update mostly, and in her base kit, she'll be including Brimstone for a lot of her abilities, specifically on her ultimate, where she does bonus damage per specific kind of ally. Brimstone has been added to that list. So when she's with her full Brimstone team, alongside her bonus stats or stat update, she's going to be dealing a lot of damage on her ultimate.
I could be mistaken, but doesn't Elsa also have like a hood-like basic ability where she hits like 8 times or something like that? And her special will hit the primary target and the weakest enemy as well. It may be slow, but we're going to see what else the kits bring for the new characters. You gotta remember that. It hits 6 times. Okay, so that's a perfect way to chew through like deflects and death proofs. So she's great at killing a character like, Reed Richards. if he's, low life and he's got those 4 death proofs, she just chews through them. So that's kind of interesting. All right.
Can you tell us about Doctor Strange Heartless?
So Strange has received a similar treatment to Elsa, where he's received the big stat update and then added Brimstone to his list for his character abilities, his already working character abilities. So he includes Brimstone on the list. So this includes, his barrier mechanic. So he provides some survivability to Brimstone. He's still the same time bomb he's always been, but he has some special synergy with Daimon Hellstrom to make his time bomb easier to go off.
Ooh.
Okay, and is that like a, extra energy to make him do that ability earlier? What are we looking at for that?
In case they don't go over it, just remember Strange's ultimate increases damage based on his buffs and the enemy's. I think his buffs and debuffs and the enemy's buffs and debuffs. I think it's like across the board. So depending what this team does, could load it up. If this guy's ulting turn 1, that's gonna be savage.
So Daimon Hellstrom has a win more mechanic where when enemies die, he heals himself and generates speed bar for himself, but he also gives out some ability energy to characters who are not at full energy. And because Heartless Strange, he has that big ultimate that requires a few turns to get up and running. He's usually the one who's going to getting that extra energy. So as once you get kills, then Heartless gets his extra ability energy, and then he's your finisher for the team.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Very nice.
And I think before we move on to the new characters, we did mention that this is war. Are we looking at war offense, war defense, just war in general as far as this team is concerned?
Brimstone will be a general war team, so you'll get a lot of use out of them on both offense and defense. Many of their abilities have been designed so they work seamlessly on defense. So, for example, both Daimon and Hellcat on their ultimates have special targeting for specific kinds of characters. So you don't have to really have to worry about who your primary target is. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Well,
Okay, so general use offense. I think this is what they want to do from now on, right? They want to be general use offense, but they're tailored to work well on defense. This is kind of like how Absolute A-Force are general use offense, but they don't do great, general use war, but they don't do great on offense. They are really annoying on defense. The Secret Warriors are kind of stepping in and messing it up as Phantom Rider gets bigger. I had a really bad time today with that matchup. So they wanted to lean defense by the sound of it, but general use war. I like that. I like it when it's both, and I think I've really, really enjoyed the Secret Warriors rework, the one new character for reworks. I think they should do more of that. Maybe like every third patch they should do one of those, and it should be general war. Because the more general war teams there are, the less people can just go full offense or full defense, and it's going to make for more interesting sort of like, what did you place on defense? What do you have on offense? Did you have a homogenized war offensive list for your alliance? Do you have the same 24 rooms filled with the exact same teams on defense? And that could cause issues that way. So I do like the general war use tags. I think we should see more of them, and I hope we get them faster because I think the war meta could use a lot of shaking up.
let's start with the new characters for this team. And I'm just going to pick a name out of the hat. We'll start with the one you already mentioned, Daimon Hellstrom. What can you tell us about him and his abilities?
So he's very much going to be leading the team. As I talked about, he has that special win more mechanic on his passive.
God damn! What? Why do his pecs have abs? Huh? Why do his pecs have abs? What is happening? Is he okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? Why do his pecs go that high? Are his nipples underneath this collar? What is happening? What is going on? His abs have abs, his pecs have abs. Maybe his biceps have abs. What's going on? Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep getting so crazy. What?
But the other thing he brings to the table is both his special and his ultimate are both all attacks, which isn't something we do very often. He on his ultimate is special because it has a new.
I have to rewind it. I'm sorry. The abs threw me off. I gotta listen to this again.
Special win more mechanic on his passive. But the other thing he brings to the table is both his special and his ultimate are both all attacks, which isn't something we do very often. He on his ultimate is special because it has a new mechanic where it has an extra effect if he is the first character taking a turn in a match. If a character goes before him, he doesn't get this extra effect. If a character goes before him, he doesn't get.
I want to see the damage it just did.
Taking a turn in a match.
First of all, animation department killed it. That's great. They've been doing some really cool stuff, like the Blastar's ultimate. Now his ultimate looks great. This hit for 7 million. All right, cool. On a crit. All right, but it hits everybody.
Character goes before him, he doesn't get this extra effect. The effect is, yes. So the extra effect is if he's going first, then when he uses his ultimate, he reduces all positive procs on the enemy team by 2.
And how will he be going first? Is he just a very fast character? Does he get speed bar? How does that work? I assume he should go first most of the time.
Yeah, so so there's 2 reasons he would go first. First is he's actually a very fast character, coming in at 134. Not our fastest character, but up there.
What? 134? So he's faster than Red Hulk. Doesn't that put him at one of the highest? Isn't that the second highest speed stat in the game? Isn't Yo-Yo at 140 and then it's going to be him at 134? And then it's 133 Red Hulk, 132 Songbird Black Cat. That is an insanely high speed stat. Third fastest. Black Widow's at 135. Isn't she only 135 after an action is taken, or did they fix that? Still, though, crazy. Ronin's not 137 without the speed stat, which he doesn't get on spawn. He gets it afterwards. Wow. Daimon looking good. Looking good.
But he also gets additional speed from Living Mummy. Living Mummy gives passive speed bonus to all Brimstone enemies.
And that's just base speed then?
Yes.
Passive speed bonus. That's your Night Stalkers. That's your Fantastic Four. That is your Ronin. So does the Fantastic Four beat them then? Does the Fantastic Four take the speed set off them? Do they have an Emma Frost OG protection? Because if they don't, and you can stop their speed stat and rewind them, all of a sudden you can just nuke this team. You'll get to go before they get to go. You get to keep all your buffs because he has to go first to do his decay. All right, we're seeing some holes in the team already.
So Daimon Hellstrom is one of the fastest characters in the game and should be the fastest character in War.
Yeah, 134 is very fast. I know that there are characters faster with their passives included, but 134 is up there, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, well, very cool. So let's just jump to the character you just mentioned, Living Mummy. What can you tell us about Living Mummy?
So Living Mummy is the team's protector, and he has a special mechanic associated with Revive Once. So he gains Revive Once on spawn and Revive Once on his ultimate. While he has Revive Once, on any character turn, he gains Taunt.
Oh, wow. So definitely.
It's like a Sasquatch. He's a new stat Sasquatch, basically, when he has Revive. I like that they did that, because they did that with Phantom Rider too. It is annoying with Phantom Rider. But yeah, so I mean, if you take the Revive off, it's going to be interesting. Still cool. Okay.
Definitely acting as that protector, as long as you don't lose the taunt on opening, through like an Ares or something to that effect, you would get taunt up right away, but he can also get it back through his ult. That's pretty cool. I know we talked a little bit about the bonus speed that he gives to the team, but does he provide any additional protection for the team besides the taunt?
So he also, on his passive specifically, while he has Revive Once, he is immune to Vulnerable, Ability Block, and Stun. He is also immune to bleed and Regeneration. The idea being that he's a mummy, so he doesn't really have any blood.
Vulnerable, Ability Block, Stun, Bleed. Okay.
Other ways that Living Mummy protects his Brimstone allies is through his active abilities. On his active abilities, he can give out buffs like Defense Up and Safeguard, but probably more importantly is he has some heals for the team. So on his passive, he has a fairly significant heal of 20%, and on his ultimate about 15. The other thing...
That was so fucking cool. Holy shit, that was so cool. He just dropped a pillar on that guy.
Is a fairly significant heal of 20%. and on his ultimate about 15. The other thing he helps out is he has a bit of a win more mechanic on his ultimate ability where he provides speed up to Brimstone elements.
Oh,
Before we move on, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss any of the latest news and updates on Marvel Strike Force.
don't tell me what to do.
And
Math.
while you're at it, head to the link in the description to join our Discord and our Facebook community. What are you most excited for with the Brimstone team, and where are you most excited to use?
So he gave speed up when Namor was killed. He said he gives speed up on special, right? That's what he just said. Alt reduce his revive. Special gives speed up. So I mean, the fact that Namor died may not have been relevant to them getting speed up.
them in Alliance War? Be sure to let us know down in the comments. Now let's jump back to the video. So let's talk about Hellcat. What is Hellcat going to be providing for this team?
So Hellcat is a brawler. So she's going to be essentially there helping shut down problematic characters. Again, she's also a pretty fast character.
Her boots look so cute. They sorry, I gotta bring this up because it doesn't look like claws. Like clearly these are supposed to be claws, but it looks more like she's wearing Uggs that have like a claw design at the top, but it looks like they're made out of like the fluffy stuff Uggs are made out of. I have a wife. Sorry, this is what what I saw right out the gate.
Her ultimate applies stun on primary, but in the war setting, as long as she's with most of her Brimstone team, she can also help shut down brawlers and blasters. So she stuns all enemy brawlers as well, regardless of what target they are in her on her ultimate ability. She also has a special mechanic where if an enemy is immune to trauma, she applies ability block and blind to them. That doesn't happen very often. In fact, I can really only think of a single character that might be applicable to. But she helps shut them down. She's got a pretty specific shutdown for them as well.
And immune to trauma. Is that what you said? Okay. Very interesting. We'll have to let the viewers think about who that might be shutting down, but I know I can think of one off the top of my head right now. What else is Hellcat going to be providing for this team? That was a really cool mechanic on, targeting all brawlers. What else is Hellcat going to be doing?
So she has a really interesting passive where if an enemy uses their basic while they have ability block, she'll use a specific level of her special on them after their attack is over.
Oh wow, that's a new mechanic, is it not? I don't think any character's done that up to this point.
No, not particularly. For how our combat data works is when you unlock her passive, essentially you get a version, like you get to use the level 1 version of her special, and this will be called out in the passive ability description. But once fully upgraded on her passive, she gets to use the level 7 version of her special. And that's applicable even if you haven't fully unlocked her special.
Well, this seems like a pretty powerful war team. So let me ask you, Byron, as kind of the designer, what is this team kind of targeted to beat in war?
They are meant to be our next best war team on offense and defense. So that means taking out teams like Absolute A-Force and Liberty. This also includes teams that use these kinds of teams that use Odin, Null, Mephisto. So they include counters for most of those characters.
All right, very cool. Well, thanks as always for joining us today, Byron. And we will see you on the next episode of Strike Spot.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
And that's it for now. Make sure to head over to Marvel.
Okay, before he gives us a code, let's talk about this for a second. First of all, so anti-speed stat will stop this. I didn't hear if they have protection from Emma, so you gotta sub somebody. So here's immediately where my head goes, okay? I'm gonna use Emma Frost X against this, along with the OG Emma, probably with like Red Hulk, Shadow King, and Apocalypse, okay? We stop the safeguard if there's a safeguard on spawn. We get to go before them. We get speed bar. Our Apocalypse goes, he punches somebody, they're permadead, right? Boom, gone, dead. We win. We go first. We don't lose our buffs to Daimon anymore, right? You definitely have to sub somebody off to shore up one of those weaknesses. Maybe you got to put Apocalypse with this team. You're not taking Nightcrawler off your Professor X team. You're just not. Because that just opens it up to so many different counters now. So yeah, that is super interesting. Who are we dropping? Probably Elsa. I think the barrier from Doctor Strange Heartless would make you want to drop Elsa, I suppose. Because Elsa is going to just be raw damage. She's probably going to be really good raw damage, but she's just going to be raw damage. So yeah, probably dropping Elsa, keeping Strange. Because Strange has the barrier, turn meter rewind on his special, the devastating ultimate. He's probably going to be giving them crit chance, because that's what he did to Darkhold, right? Crit chance or crit damage, one or the other. But we'll see how that goes. They said this team is going to be the next best general team. So like Mercs. Mercs was like amazing, right? Liberty was not good on defense. Absolute A-Force was not good on offense. If this hits the mark, this will feel like the next Mercs team, where they were just the best in offense and defense. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, Mercs also had that glaring weakness against Mephistos and Undying with Zombie Scarlet Witch, mind you. But that Zombie Scarlet Witch came after that, right? So that's super interesting. I think this team looks really fun. And I like that it's going to be a war team. Oh my god, they're both raiding me. I'm going to be getting, I'm going to go get the kids off the bus in about 10 minutes. We're going to finish this video off real quick. Thanks for the raid, Valley. Thanks for the raid, Mobile.
strikeforce.com/player-gift and enter the new code, Fire and Brimstone, which you can see on the screen right now. We'll also have it in the description so you can copy and paste it on the website. And remember, it's marvelstrikeforce.com/player-gift. We'll see you on the next episode of Strike Spot.
Thanks, Pat. W video. I like the strike spots. And honestly, they're getting better and better engagement from the player base. I was watching this number climb up. This number is normally pretty low in these videos. It's been out for minutes now, 23 minutes, and they're already at 1,000 views. Good. I think the player base is more engaged with Marvel Strike Force than they have been in a long time. Which, I mean, the engagement with the Blastar invasion event would maybe indicate differently, but I actually feel like people are more into Marvel Strike Force than they have been in the past. Now, I think there was a space here on accident, yeah. So Fire and Brimstone is going to get us what exactly? Fire and Brimstone is going to get us 1 million gold and 25,000 shop credits, so free stuff is free stuff. We love that. Anyway, thanks Pathfinder for the video. Thank you for all that early information. I assume we're probably going to see some Envoy videos showcasing the entirety of these character kits very quickly. But if I got to give a pulse check on this, I'm most excited for Daimon. Yeah. I'm most excited for Daimon because of that 134 speed set. And if he goes first, he's decaying stuff. If he does that on his own, absent his team, he's going to have some pretty crazy plug-and-play use. Dorky is getting the Scorpion of the team. I hope if I'm getting one, I'm not getting the Scorpion of the team again. Scorpion, listen, I hyped him up because I love that character. I'm really happy I got Scorpion because he's one of my favorite. This is not for this video, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.